Dyslexic Genius here. What I'm going to talk about is Brunswick Ultona tonearm and how to rebuild one. And the majority of these are out of pot metal. So let me get started on this, on the rebuild. What you have to do is you have to undo this screw right here, because the screw fits in this little slot here like this. And that's what holds the whole tonearm assembly together. So when you put it together, that screw goes in that slot and that keeps it going where it wants to go. And these things have a tendency to break. And this is the base to it. Also, on this one, I had to clean all this up and I super glued this back in place because pot metal swells and this just pulled right out. And you can see right here, this little bit of soldering that they kind of soldered it up on to hold it. It had all come apart. But when you do that, super glue is fine. You can use JB Weld, but I prefer super glue. It's going to last, because all this does is it just sits into the machine like that and you never see it. So you want to make sure both surfaces are clean before you glue or use a JB Weld or some product that you like. So to get the tonearm to do this easily, we have to, when you get them, you put them in and they go, oh God, it's too tight to do this. So what you have to do is you have to clean up this inside of this. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the flex zone, this thing, and you're going to stick it into here. And you're going to go back and forth and test fitting it. And you always want to make sure that we have this little slot here. This is the guide for the tonearm right here. And we have a screw that fits into there. And that screw looks like this. It has this little end piece. And that slides in here like that. And you're going to test fit back and forth. And we still have to keep going. The other thing you want to do is the slide here, when they machine it, it gets a few little burrs on it. So you can just gently take your file like this and file that down. And then after you do that, you will take the screw here, and this little nipple, that's what it rides in that slot. You want to take that and make sure that this slides through and it doesn't have any binding. And this one has a little bit of binding. So what you do, it's because you have a file and files are hardened and we have a sharp edge on it. You just take this. So you have the slot and you're just going to take the file and slide down the side there a little. And you get little burrs like that in machining process. Now that you've played for a long time trying to get this to go in and out smoothly, I did it like this one here. Comes out, goes in, comes out, goes in. They're just a little bit of tight. Now the problem arises. The tonearm, this piece, fits over this lip piece area here. So it's going to go together. So when you put it together, and you'll put it in here and you'll go, oh, it's tight. Well, what happens is this swells up and it hits the inside of here. And the tonearm part, this here goes in there. So what you have to do is you take a Dremel drill with a sander and you go around and around and around like this, and then you keep fitting it back and forth, put it together. So, oh, it's still a little tight right there. So how to fix that you take your felt pen, black felt pen, red felt pen, or green felt pen, whatever you like, and you just paint this hole inside with your felt pen. And when you put this back up here, and you test it, it'll wear off. You can feel right there where it's rubbing. And right here I have a mark, and this is where it's rubbing. So you just come back in with your sander and grind this out. Once you have all that done, you're pretty much done. All you have to do is we'll just take a little bit of oil, like that, 2 drops, one at the top, one at the bottom. And you want to make sure that you have the slot area. And if your tone arm is busted like this one, you see we don't have the piece coming over here, and we have this piece here, that keeps it from coming off. So if this is busted like this, you'll have to find another one of these online. So you just put this together. And then they have a special screw. And this screw has a little hole in it because it rests on top right here like that. And that's going to pivot all the time. So you just put a little green grease in there, just a little dab, that's all you need. You'll see here, align that like that. Take a screwdriver, screw this in. And now we have the lock, everything's good. You stick that back in the vise to hold it. You'll take this, and this will automatically go down on that pin or shaft. That's all there is to it, like that. And then you'll swing around to the back, and you have this little set pin here, which is a little screw, really. And you'll take that, and you'll just tighten that up onto this screw here, and that'll hold everything in place, and it won't come apart. And that's relatively easy to rebuild a Brunswick Ultona tone arm. Out, in. Little tension. I want to kind of stick at the end, slide in. Once it's bolted down, this is much easier. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and that's my tip for the day.